We are back. Tertiary education is very important in Nigeria, and the tertiary institutions are divided into university, polytechnic, and college of education. Out of the three, university is the most prestigious, and polytechnics and colleges of education are a last option for students after unsuccessful attempts at securing university education. This, coupled with discrimination against non-university degree holders by employers of labor, has made colleges of education very, very unattractive to students, and hence a last resort. In a developing and growing economy as ours, should this be the case? What is the Ministry of Education doing to correct this? It's your view. Please let it count. Please join the conversation by calling 07080668014 or tweeting to us at YOURVIEW TVC. Ua and Nima will be taking our tweets this morning. Who agrees and who disagrees? That you disagree? Go ahead.
I think we've handled this issue before. So from the angle I want to see it from is the angle of the family. There's this general mistaken notion about colleges of education and polytechnics. Now we have children who are gifted within families. You know, you see them as children exhibiting tendencies to teach. They always, you know, put their younger ones through. They can teach them their homework, do things, put things. You know, you just see this teaching talent in them, and then you deny that child. Instead of pushing that child towards it, the parents will say, no, my own child won't go to a college of education, because we see teachers as teaching as a profession that is not rewarding. Because of the way our government has treated them, parents just have this notion and they push their children away. No. So I see it from the family, not from
the family that you've identified. Why do parents have this fear or phobia for sending their children to colleges of education?
Because they are looking at the reward.
They're looking at the reward, meaning what?
This is what I'm saying. Most parents see teaching as less rewarding. We know how our teachers are treated. A parent will say, no, my child will not remain poor. I want you to do maybe a professional course that will get you all the money.
Wait, hold on. So
and see teaching as something that won't make you hit it big quickly.
So automatically, if you attend college of education, you are bound to be a teacher.
No.
You can choose not to be a teacher. Now, if you want to actually be a teacher, that is the way to go. If you want to lecture in any school, they will ask you for a diploma in education, something that, you know, pushes you, shows that you're qualified to give people, to teach people.
You know, I think for me, because we had an experience in my family. My elder sister, when she tried Unizik, she couldn't get, and I got the admission, but she didn't. So my dad was like, she's a girl, okay, why in a gaga and stuff. So
meaning what?
That a woman's time is like a ticking clock or something like that. So we eventually decided to register her in College of Education in Subwe.
Why?
And because she couldn't get, she didn't read the cutoff for Unizik. So, but my mom was really, really angry. My mom, because even when we went for her matriculation, you see the caliber of people there. And my sister was like, I don't know how I'm going to survive here. I mean, if I live here for like 4 years, I'll probably start thinking the same way they do. So eventually she had to leave and move to Esut.
Are you saying that it's the less privileged of the society who go to colleges of education?
I'm not saying it is, but that is what it seems. You get?
Okay. Now, how do I put this in perspective? You see, the major problem, because we all know that a lot of people, there's a preference between university and college of education and polytechnics. However, if we had a system where people respect and you appreciate certain kinds of job, we'll not be where we are today. Now, all the churning out of all the graduates that we have today, who are the people that bring get them to that level? They are teachers, lecturers, and that is why we have half-baked, even in the so-called universities now, we have half-baked lecturers now teaching, producing half-baked graduates. In the time where we are in now, the government, part of what they should be campaigning in 2015 is education. Because the major problem we have, all these things we're talking about, agriculture, infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. Imagine if they equip the polytechnics and the colleges of education. Let's let's even keep universities aside, because those are theoretical. Those are practical places where we can immediately start to improve our educational system and also the structural system that we have in our country.
You mentioned equip. Is it for lack of equipment that people refuse to go to colleges of education?
You see, it is the value that they have placed. Now, for instance, they will put a cutoff of 250 for university and tell you that if you cannot meet 250, you cannot go into the university. The ideal thing for me, I think, for you to even enter college of education, they should put a cutoff of 300.
What? Exactly.
Yes.
No, I agree.
You need to reverse that.
We have a phone call.
Okay.
Omolara has called in from Ikorodu, our first caller this morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, ladies.
How are you, Mom?
I am fine, thank you.
Good. Please go ahead.
God bless you.
Thank you.
I've taught for 30 years, now resting at home, trying to start up a crush of my own. I've always said it. You want to read psychology, you want to read medicine, you want to read dentistry, your cutoff mark is first. And you can't get in. And you find it's the cutoff mark for education that is the lowest. Better go and do that before you, even in the university it happens. Yes. You can't make the Department of Science or whatever because of the cutoff mark. You end up in the Department of Education. Yes. And these students go in there just because they want the certificate, not because they want to be teachers. And so it is with the colleges of education. The cutoff mark is damn too low. So you find, I'm sorry to say, sometimes I am very, very sorry to say, don't misquote me, you find the dread of the society going into the colleges of education. I lecture in one of the part-time in one of the colleges of education here. And I look at these people who come in to say they want to be teachers. Most of them just do not have, sorry to say, anything of it. Wow. And they want to be teachers. So our government is not helping the situation. If the cutoff mark for education is raised, I know it will reduce the number of students that may go in there. But then that will make it will make it more serious. And these teacher training colleges, we need training, we need discipline. We've lost the discipline in the teaching profession. Sorry, I rose through the ranks. I did the Q, I did NC before I did my degree, before I did my master's. So I know what I'm talking about. A lot of teachers have lost the discipline. And that is why we have the problem we have today.
Okay, thank you very much, Omolara. Thank you for calling. Go ahead.
So, like I was saying, the colleges of education, polytechnics, the cutoff mark should be higher than university. Because, listen,
my question to you will be that people aren't going there
as
their first choice.
No, it will not help you to know that it is only someone that truly desires. I know my brother-in-law now, for instance, his younger sister, she's teaching English. She, from the day one, it's not like she stumbled on it. From day one, she entered Unilag. She knew she wanted to go into teaching. So now she's not a teacher that just happened to fall into teaching. No, listen, Sanzi. Okay. She had a plan that she wants to be a teacher. So if we start to have high cutoffs like that, people will now respect that profession of teaching. Okay. And also, hold on, let me finish my point. Okay. And also respect that profession of teaching. And also they will go into that school with the intention that they wanted to teach.
Okay. This is my point. Okay, hold on. Now, she wanted to be a teacher. Fantastic, awesome, it's her dream. But then she had a choice. Why go for, even if you go for enter education faculty, it's still under Unilag. So when you come out, that certificate still has Unilag. She could have gone for one college that is unknown.
I agree with you. We have Vivian from Yaba on the phone. Good morning, Vivian. Oh, we lost her.
Okay, I want to say,
okay, go ahead.
In addition to all that Uwa has said, I still bring it back to the home. My elder sister is a teacher today because my mom saw that gift in her and encouraged her to go to follow it up. And then she wanted to, do medicine. She wanted a university admission at all costs. My mom kept saying, there was a teacher around her. Please advise me, what is the best option for her? The woman said, go to the College of Education. She graduated with the best results. She has a teaching job today that fulfills her. Now, parents will see a child with such, we don't see them as gifts anymore. The gifts are usually the musical talent and all that. We don't see those people and nurture that child to become a better teacher. Then, to be someone that can impact lives just as someone had impacted their lives. I remember back in school. I had teachers who impacted my lives in primary school.
Okay, we have Timileyin on the phone. Timileyin calling from Festa. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, ladies.
How are you today, sir?
Very well, thank God. All right, I think the emphasis should be placed right. It is not so much about the school system. I went to Lagos State University. I studied history and international relations, and today I fix cars. My wife studied studied food technology, and today she has a diploma in educational psychology, and she teaches because she has passion for that. So what is most important is that we need to know what we need. Most of the people that come as expatriates to Nigeria, most of them are technicians. So what do we need to take the nation forward? That is what our curriculum should be about. It's not about the best person should go for this, the worst person should go for that.
Okay, thank you very much, Timileyin. May we take tweets?
Sorry, before you take tweets, I wanted to say something. In the time of my husband's days in university, he said his lecturer turned down an oil company job because as at then, lecturing was paying way, way higher, like 2 times higher than whatever any oil company business. But today, the reverse is the case. I think we need to review the policies of even salary structures for teachers, and also the structural environment, the university environment, and the colleges of education, their environment as well. Change it, equip it more, build world-class standard. Let it not look like because it's a college of education.
Okay, we
going
need to
somebody else's backyard that is
like a village
we
school.
need to go.
So we need to
let's
do
just
that.
take 2 tweets so we can go.
I can't. My tweets are not.
Yes, Uwa, what we now see is as a result of the prioritization. But now to teach in any secondary school, you must have degree from C of E. What's that? That's College of Education. People must understand that teaching, that's from, the first tweet was from Ibukun Dapo. David Adele says, people must understand that teaching is changing lives.
Okay.
Destinies are involved. It goes beyond seeing it as a paid job.
Okay. And there's I-Square who says, I support increasing College of Education cutoff. It will boost students and employers' morale. Maybe. I don't totally disagree with it. But we will be discussing the devaluation of the Naira on Let's Talk after the break. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Towards the end of 2014, the Naira was devalued and has continued to depreciate against the dollar since the collapse in oil prices and the increased demand for the dollar locally. What does this devaluation portend for the country? We have with us in the studio an economist, Mr. Henry Boyo. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good. You can join the conversation by calling us or tweeting at us. In layman's language, sir, what is the devaluation of the Naira?
Very simple. If you exchanged 160 Naira to a dollar before, and you now have to exchange 180, and in some cases 200, quite simply, you are having to pay more Naira for each dollar that you get. Consequently, the things that you could get for $1 before, you would need more than 160 Naira to get it. The consequence of that is that there would be a general price rise for those items in which there is an imported component. And ultimately, if you find that your money, for example, your 18,000 Naira minimum wage, which at the time it was established 5-6 years ago, was almost 160 or thereabouts, because the exchange rate then was much lower. Today, if the exchange rate is 180, it means that the 18,000 naira minimum wage is only $100. So anybody who was earning 18,000 naira minimum wage, or anyone on the 18,000 naira minimum wage, with the expectation that you would be enjoying the same value or the same quantum of goods that you used to buy before, that would be a false expectation, because you will not be able to buy the equivalent amount of goods.
How does the naira get devalued? How does my $1 become 200 naira overnight? What happens?
It's a simple matter of demand and supply. Even though a lot of people would confuse you by telling you that it requires that we produce more, we do all kinds of things, we diversify and all that. But truly in the Nigerian context, it's simply a matter of demand and supply. Any day that you go into the market and you have, for example, plenty of tomatoes in the market, usually the price of tomato would come down.
Okay.
Expectedly.
I understand that explanation. So when the CBN says that it is devaluing the naira, what does the CBN do then? Mops up the dollars in the market so that there is less supply? How do they control the devaluation?
The CBN's strategy at the moment, unfortunately, is anti-social and truly oppressive of the economy. Because the CBN deliberately creates surplus naira. That was the point I was trying to make to you about tomatoes.
Okay.
If you have plenty of tomatoes in the market, the price of tomatoes would come down.
Yes.
The day you have less tomatoes in the market and it is scarce, the price would go up. The same thing with naira and dollar.
Okay.
If you have plenty of dollars in the market, the price would go down. If you have plenty of naira in the market, the naira would go down.
Okay.
When you now have a juxtaposition of less naira, of less dollars and more naira, the price of the naira would go down.
Oh, okay, I understand. So, but what does this portend for the Nigerian citizen?
Well, as I have explained to you, somebody who earned 18,000 naira as minimum wage,
You will just find out that I can't buy as many things as I used to buy.
and you become poorer.
Well, yesterday in Solido's article, I read that after the global crisis, they allowed the naira to depreciate so that, you know, their foreign reserve could, you know, add value. So is there anything that the CBN stands to gain? Because I want to understand the economic reasons of this kind of policies that they are taking to the economy, because are there anything, is there any advantage to this devaluation that we have?
Well, right to start with, I don't know what, I haven't read the Solido article, but I'm surprised that he's talking in this manner, because he also was part of the problem, because he carried on a policy which also helped to get us where we are. He was quite aware of the solution, but he was in denial of that solution for so many years, until 2007, when he made a somersault after I had been promoting this advocacy in the media for a very long time. He denied that that was a solution, and only in 2007 to come up with a strategic agenda for the naira, which was a total lift-off of everything I'd been saying. So Solido cannot come and say and pretend that he did very well in his time, but having said so,
what's that solution?
Well, if I recall correctly, I remember my dad discussing it back in those days, and he Solido brought up a proposal of making 100 naira the highest currency
no, he
in
was
Nigeria.
Even planning to go two digits now.
Well, that was it, right?
I think you are confusing redenomination and
devaluation. They are two different.
Okay, well, maybe redenomination.
Okay,
exactly. Please let him finish.
Okay.
So please go ahead, sir.
And what would you like to talk about now?
The solution you suggested that you refused, because I want to understand how, because he said, he continued in the article to say that they allowed this because they expected the dollar to grow, the foreign reserve to grow from 102 billion to 18 billion over the years. They expected a growth. So for me to understand, I want to see to understand what this present economic team is doing around the president. I want to, you know, just oppose the two and see exactly what they stand to gain, because there should be some economic benefits that they can say to the president to convince him to allow these policies to go through.
Well, there's no economic benefit whatsoever
of devaluing the naira
to any Nigerian. But
okay,
let me continue with the explanation I was making. If you have a situation where one item is scarce in supply, that item you know naturally would be more expensive or higher in price. If it is in surplus, it will be cheaper, okay? In the marketplace where you have both dollars and also naira, if you make dollars scarce in the market, dollar will be higher in price compared to naira. If you make naira surplus in the market, naira will be cheaper. In the kind of situation in which we have now, and which we even had in the time of Soludo, the central bank has traditionally continued to create an artificial scarcity of dollars,
making it more expensive,
while simultaneously creating a heavy surplus of naira,
making it cheaper.
So in other words, when the central bank and their media tell you that they are defending the naira, in reality what they are doing is they are defending the dollar. And Soludo did the same thing. The gentleman before him did the same thing. The one that went just now, Sanusi, did the same thing. And Emefiele is also doing the same thing and hoping to get a different result.
And so what should they be doing?
Very simple. What you have to be doing is to create a better balance. In other words, reduce the quantum of naira, or the supply of naira, and make the dollar more plentiful in the market.
Okay. I need to understand what was the reason behind their devaluation from Soludo to Sanusi.
That is what I have been trying to explain to you.
I didn't get it. Please
okay, let me say it again. If you have more nairas chasing the dollar, the naira would be weaker. If you have less dollars in the market and there's more naira, the naira would be weaker. But if you now have more dollars chasing fewer naira, the naira would be stronger. And both Soludo, Sanusi before him, and the other Sanusi, and this current one, they have all, without exception, carried, maintained or sustained a policy that ensures that you have heard of the word excess liquidity or excess naira or surplus naira. You have heard that the central bank is busy always taking out surplus naira from the system. So you'll understand when I say there is always surplus naira in the market. Now compare that with the rations of dollars that the same central bank now dishes little by little into the market. Just like the tomatoes you now have.
I have a question.
Thank you.
Now you have.
Yes. Because I don't, I think for me, in my own understanding, because we are solely like an import, what's it called, dependent country. We don't produce anything. So we constantly need
the dollar,
foreign currencies, you understand, to do certain transactions. So how is that, you know, playing a role in all this devaluation of naira?
Okay.
You see, when you have, for example, let's use 1996 as a starting point. We had just $4 billion worth of reserves, total $4 billion. And we were told that if we couldn't earn a single farthing more, the $4 billion would cover all the things we are importing, all the things we need, like you say. We'll cover our imports for 4 months. Okay? And what was the exchange rate of the naira? 80 naira to a dollar. At the time of Soludo that he extolled, the period he was extolling, we had buoyant reserves, Yes. 60 billion. We were even able, even before then, able to pay our debts, dashed 18 billion here, paid 12 billion.
May I interrupt
just
you,
a minute,
sir?
Just a minute. Paid 12 billion for power holding and what have you. We had plenty of dollars. And we were told that the amount of dollars we had would not only last for 4 months if we didn't earn a single farthing, it would last for 20 months or 25 months. But guess what?
What?
The exchange rate was 120 naira to a dollar. Why should your exchange rate be 120 naira to a dollar when in Soludo's time, as you have said, we had plenty reserves, and yet you had 120 naira to a dollar? When $4 billion, 4 months imports cover, you had 80 billion reserves. The reason, very simply, is what I've said. The central bank has deliberately maintained a policy that would suffocate and continue to strangulate this economy by continuously capturing the dollar earnings that we earn from crude oil.
Okay.
And every time we earn money from crude oil, the central bank would convert it and substitute naira. Okay. So that the more dollars that you get, the more naira that is created, and you have surplus naira, chasing now the few dollars the central bank introduces into the market from time to time.
Let us take a commercial break. Now I understand what you have said very clearly. Okay, we will still discuss more on the devaluation of the naira when we get back. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you for staying with us. Still on the devaluation of the naira. Nima, go with your question.
So, what is the implication of the relief from the debts that we did back in Obasanjo's regime? The debt relief, the Paris Club, and all that we settled. You know, we're supposed to be independent, and our policies were supposed to be independent. But now, from what you're explaining, it's like we're working for the dollar, where you're strengthening the dollar against our own currency, and all the time, you know, it affects the goods that we buy and sell in our country.
You're absolutely right, Nima. I don't know why they do so, but that's the truth.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Now, there was a time when, sadly, naira is like, as of day before yesterday, 208. So, is Nigeria ever going to get back to that point where naira was equivalent to dollar?
Well, as I told you before, it's again a matter of market dynamics. Don't mind what people tell you about diversification of the economy and all those. Those ones can never come in. Become reality, because they have to, diversification has to be founded on a platform that is real, on the pillars of monetary policy, because that's what is done everywhere in the world. And you must have a monetary policy framework that ensures that the economy can grow, not celebration of an inflation rate of 8%, 8% when every 5 years means that you lose 40 or 50% of your income, not a monetary framework that ensures that your own government openly admits to the whole world that, look, we are borrowing money we don't need at 15% and 16% when we mop up excess liquidity.
Wow.
And nobody asks, where is this surplus money comes from that you have to borrow at 15%, 16%, only to keep the money, and yet you have deprivations in the areas of health, education, transportation, aviation, the whole lot. And if you are borrowing money you don't need at 15, 16, 17%,
wow.
What do you think the bank would be charging the real sector? And if this real sector is forced to be borrowing at 25, 26, 27%, where is the profit for them, and where is the likelihood that they would want to employ people and create businesses?
Wow.
All because, why? The central bank is busy maintaining its stranglehold on the foreign exchange market, so that any time it captures any incoming revenue, which is crude oil export revenue, they keep it aside and give you naira to spend and cry wolf. Excess liquidity will mop. And they mop up at 15%, and they say, we don't know why the real sector is not working. Whereas they have given a free opportunity to banks to make up to 600 billion naira for doing absolutely nothing every year. So, to answer your question, we could come back to a situation where the naira becomes stronger when you can create a better balance for the naira. You give the naira a fighting chance in the market. You don't deliberately create a flood of naira and then come back and say, I'm doing good, I'm defending the naira by putting trickles of dollars in the market. If you paid the beneficiaries of the Federation Pool every month with dollar certificates or dollar coupons or dollar checks, you don't create any excess liquidity. They would need to go to the bank and change their dollar certificates into naira. You would have what? No excess liquidity. No excess liquidity means no high interest rates, because you don't have to mop up anything. If you don't have to mop up anything and interest rates are low, everybody would want to be a businessman. You can borrow at 4, 5, 6%, and you don't have to worry about can I pay this loan if I take it at 25% or 30% as the case may be, you would also find that industries would suddenly find that their cost of production would fall. For example, many years ago, I used to bring in as a raw material for the production of my product, a product called Kokoshin, if I dare say so, and we spent less than 100,000 naira in order to bring in a container load of 100 drums of petroleum jelly. Okay, today we need to spend close to 5 million naira, and that 5 million naira has to be borrowed at 25 or 26%. Am I crazy to continue to want to do that type of production?
We actually have to.
What I am telling you is not a peculiar thing. It's across the board for all manufacturers.
Wow,
this is what we are suffering because of central banks' monopoly of the foreign exchange market.
But I'd like to take a tweet who says, ACN says, Mr. Boyer has been saying this for years. Does it mean the leaders are not listening to you?
Well, it's not in the favor of the leaders to listen to me, because what I am preaching or what I'm advocating will make it more difficult to get surplus money to steal.
Wow. It will not benefit
Thank you very much, Mr. Boyer, for coming on the program. I would have wanted to ask you what the way forward is, but I
have told you.
You have said it over and over.
All you have to do is
give the naira.
No. Pay dollar certificates or dollar checks instead of converting or substituting naira allocation. So once you do that, you'll suddenly find that the balance of the exactly, you'd now have more dollars in the market chasing more naira.
Nice.
Less naira.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boyer. We're very appreciative of you coming this morning. We've been very much educated. Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies, for joining on the show today. Please watch a repeat broadcast of Your View at 11:30 p.m. tonight. You can also watch repeat episodes on YouTube. Please go to YouTube.com/TVC Entertainment and search for Your View. Your vote is your right. You can go to I have the website of INEC that we can actually go to. It is govote.ng/pickup to search for where your permanent voter's card is. Please go to that website. Don't waste your vote. Use it wisely. Thank you very much for watching. See you tomorrow. Open house Thursday. Have a great day today. Bye.